Getting up to 23 minutes past 2 on this Monday afternoon. Maria Richmond with you until 4. That's Diana Ross there, and I'm still waiting. Well, there's exciting times ahead this weekend for a former pupil of Lincolnshire School, and that is Laura Coyne. And actually this weekend she's been mixing with the likes of Michael Ball, I believe. Laura, is that right? You've been at the Millennium Stadium, haven't you?
Hi, yeah, it was the Millennium Centre last night. We had a fantastic time. We were performing ahead of Michael Ball, and we also went to see his show afterwards, and it was absolutely fantastic.
He's such a character, isn't he?
He is. It's the first time I've ever seen him in concert, actually, so it was a real treat, and I really, really enjoyed it. He sang some of his most famous hits as well, which was great, so he had Love Changes Everything and everything like that.
And how was it performing for some of his fans, then?
They were really lovely. I mean, it was a great crowd. We had quite a few people come up after we'd finished and said they really enjoyed it. They were just really, really lovely people. But they obviously love Michael Ball. They all had their badges on and everything like that.
And of course, you're going to be basically warming up for him again this coming weekend, which we'll come on to in a few minutes' time. But I wanted to talk first, of course, because you're a former pupil of Lincolnshire School. So how many years is it since you were there?
Oh, I finished in 2007. I did my A-levels there as well, and I started there when I was 9, so that would have been about 1999, so quite a long time, and I was a chorister as well. So I spent a lot of time in the cathedral.
As I said, what was a daily life like at Lincolnshire School then? What sort of things sort of happened if you were a chorister as well?
It was very, very, very busy, but it was really good fun as well. So you had rehearsals before school and after school as well, and sometimes you did a service. So you worked very, very hard, but it was really, really rewarding because you got lots of performance opportunities, and you got to go on tours as well, which were fantastic. And also, I think we performed with G4 as well and things like that. So there were some great times.
And what about other school friends? I presume, are you still in touch with some? And are they going on to the same type of career as you?
Some of them are. A lot of them are going into teaching at the moment. Some music teaching, some doing English, I know. But I do, good old Facebook is really handy to keep in contact with a lot of them. So it's really interesting seeing where they're all going. But I do bump into them. Some of them come to the concerts as well when we're performing in Lincoln, which is always nice.
I was going to say, it must be nice actually to come back and see familiar faces in the audience, is it? Or is that more scary than performing before, thousands of strangers?
Do you know what? Actually, the last concert my piano teacher attended, it was only last month in the cathedral, and that was really nerve-wracking because I haven't had another teacher since her. And so it was lovely on the one hand that she could see how much I'd come on since I left the school, but on the other hand, part of you thinks, oh, will she pull me off if I make a mistake or something?
Did you have visions of her sat there with one of those sort of, crosses or something, or,
Oh, do you know what? She's an absolutely lovely lady. I've got a lot to thank her for. Mrs. Lynch, I'll give her a mention in case she's listening. She's
Mrs. Lynch.
Absolutely fantastic.
If Mrs. Lynch isn't listening, then somebody who knows Mrs. Lynch probably will be, so pass the message on.
Oh, you couldn't be a better piano teacher. She's absolutely lovely. And all she said is if I was ever struggling, practice my scales. They sort everything out. Scales, scales, scales. Which is funny because I hated practicing them, but...
So you always listen to the teacher.
Yeah, always listen to your teacher.
Now, coming up this weekend, I mean, first of all, how have you gone into... for somebody so young, if you don't mind me saying, gone into this style of music? Because what are you going to be performing, the style of music, this weekend?
Well, the music is the Great American Songbook. For those that don't know, that's music which was composed mainly between 1920s and the 1960s and featured in some very well-known movie musicals. So it's composers like Cole Porter, George and Ira Gershwin. And it's quite interesting. I performed with my partner Dan Curtis, and he was brought into the music because he was raised by his grandparents, so they still listened to that music, and he was highly exposed to it. Whereas I started listening to that music after I heard it in concerts at school. So we both come into it very differently, but we both really, really enjoy it. And I think it's lovely that we are young and performing it because the music's actually being lost with the generation. And it's such fantastic music. It's such a shame that people are starting to forget some of it. And so we've taken it upon ourselves to make sure that it doesn't get forgotten and gets performed regularly. And hopefully, more people our age will come to hear it and really enjoy it. That's what we're hoping to achieve anyway.
And am I right in thinking that you've brought it down to basic arrangements for it, sort of stripped them right back?
We have, because what a lot of people do is the jazz arrangements, which are really good. You know, they're really, really good arrangements. But sometimes it's nice to just strip it right back and perform it as the composer would have done when he just finished, you know, composing it and was performing it to the first person, asking them what they thought of it, which is quite magical, really, because you get to the heart of the song. And it's really raw, and you really, really get to the meaning of the piece, which is really lovely, I think.
Now, this weekend, you're going to be in front of thousands of people at the West End Live Festival, which is in Trafalgar Square, in obviously in London.
Yeah.
And they're going to have performances from a lot of the shows, including things like Jersey Boys and We Will Rock You. How are your nerves doing? Are you starting to get any yet, or are you just thinking it's going to be great fun and you'll worry about it later?
A little bit of both, actually. We see pictures from last year and then you get a bit nervous. But then at the same time, we were so excited that I think we're just going to enjoy it. Dan's a lot better than me. I'm more nervous than Dan, I think. He's cool as a cucumber, whereas I'm a little bit more like... But we're both really, really excited, and I think we're just going to enjoy it, to be honest with you. I think once we're on there, we'll forget all the nerves and we'll just have a great time.
Are you going to have a chance to do much rehearsal actually on the stage itself?
We don't. It is literally straight on. Because it's run as such a tight ship, they've got so many musicals, and the crowds are in there, and it's in such a public place. We're literally going on and performing, which is a challenge in itself. But it will be fantastic, and luckily we have quite a basic setup with the piano and the singing, so we've not got too much to worry about, really.
And as far as the stuff, do you know who's on before and after you? Have you found that out yet, or will that be a surprise as well?
Before us, we've got things like Love Never Dies, Jersey Boys, We Will Rock You, and I think just after us we have Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and Stomp. So hopefully we'll get to see a couple as well. And
you're in good company there, aren't you?
Oh, indeed, yeah, definitely.
So what would be the best thing about the day for you, do you think? I mean, is it just on the one day, or are you on both days?
We're on the one day, on the Saturday, which I think will be the busiest of all. I think the best bit will just be standing on the stage and just seeing all those people. And really, it's a great achievement for us because it's exactly what we're trying to do, you know, bring the music to people who don't know about it, who wouldn't normally listen to it. And I know that it's generally a younger crowd that turns up for this festival. So I'm hoping that they'll hear the music and they'll go away, they'll look it up and start playing it.
And do you know what time you'll be on the stage, Laura?
We're going to be on at 4:55.
Right, so I was just thinking, if anybody's paying a weekend visit to London...
Oh, definitely.
Get yourself to Trafalgar Square for 4:55 and hold up the Lincolnshire flag. And then Laura and Dan will be able to spot you in the audience, basically.
Definitely.
Well, very best of luck with this. Are you going to be coming back to Lincolnshire anytime soon and performing here in Lincolnshire?
I think we've just done our kind of annual performance at the cathedral. We're definitely going to be back next year, and we're always visiting family, and sometimes performance things crop up unexpectedly. But people can check out our performance dates on our website, which is www.dlcmusic.com. So if they log on there, they can just see what we've got coming up.
Laura, best of luck for this weekend. It's going to be so exciting.
Oh,
and I hope you have a fantastic time.
Oh, thank you very much.
We'll be thinking of you at 4:55.
Please do.
Take care, Laura. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
There you go, Laura Coyne there. And best of luck, 4:55. So if you're in London around Trafalgar Square at that time, do go along and give them a wave. And if you've got a Lincolnshire flag with you, wave it as well. So taking the sounds from Hollywood's Silver Screen there to the West End, to Trafalgar Square. Oh, I hope it goes wonderful. How fantastic will that be, just to stand out on that stage? Here's the Eagles. We'll have hits and headlines after this. This is Take It Easy.